Ever wondered why rejection hurts so much? And what if we could use that pain to our advantage? Welcome to a journey of introspection where we'll explore the power of rejection. A universal experience. Rejection is something we've all faced at one point or another. Whether it's from a job, a romantic interest, or even a group of peers, the sting of rejection is a feeling that's hard to forget. It's an emotional slap in the face that leaves us feeling unwanted, unappreciated, and unloved. But why does rejection hurt so much? It's because we're wired to seek acceptance. As social creatures, we thrive on being part of a group. So when we're rejected, it shakes our sense of belonging. It makes us question our worth and our place in the world. There's a common misconception that rejection is a negative experience. But what if we told you it doesn't have to be? What if we told you that rejection could be a positive force that propels you towards success? You see, rejection is not a verdict on your worth, but rather a matter of perception. It's a wake-up call, a sign that we need to change something, try a different approach, or maybe even shift our perspective. It's an opportunity for growth, a chance to learn from our mistakes and become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The key is to embrace rejection, not fear it, to view it not as a setback, but as a stepping stone. To understand that every rejection is a redirection to something better. It's about turning the pain of rejection into the power of resilience. Imagine a world where you could harness the power of rejection to fuel your growth and success. A world where rejection is a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. A world where rejection propels you towards greatness instead of pulling you down. And this is where the Stoic perspective comes in. Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy, teaches us that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. What if I told you that rejection, when faced with a Stoic perspective, can be a stepping stone to greatness? Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers a unique perspective on rejection. Rooted in the teachings of great minds like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, Stoicism equips us with the mental tools to face life's challenges head-on. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. When faced with rejection, Stoics understand that they cannot control the actions or opinions of others. Instead, they focus their energy on their own reaction, their own mindset, and their own next steps. They view rejection not as a personal affront, but as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to forge ahead with renewed determination. This Stoic perspective on rejection encourages us to shift our mindset, to embrace adversity, and to seek strength in the face of challenges. It's not about denying the pain of rejection, but about transforming it into a force for good. Stoicism teaches us to see rejection not as a roadblock, but as a path to resilience and growth. Well, let's explore the 13 lessons Stoicism teaches us on using rejection to our advantage. We'll start with the first lesson: embrace rejection. It's a part of life, and we can't avoid it. Instead, we should embrace it and see it as an opportunity to grow. The second lesson is learn from rejection. It is a great teacher, showing us where we need to improve and how we can be better. Thirdly, we have rejection is temporary. It may sting for a while, but it will pass. Don't let it define you or your self-worth. Next up is the fourth lesson. Rejection is not personal. It's about the other person's perception, not your worth or value. The fifth lesson is use rejection as motivation. Instead of letting it discourage you, let it fuel your drive to do better and be better. Moving on to the sixth lesson, rejection is a test. It's a test of your resilience and determination. Can you keep going even when things get tough? The seventh lesson teaches us that rejection builds character. It shapes us, makes us stronger, and gives us a story to tell. The eighth lesson is rejection is a chance for a new direction. It may close one door, but it opens another. It's an opportunity for a fresh start. Ninth lesson, rejection teaches humility. It reminds us that we're not perfect and that there's always room for improvement. The 10th lesson is rejection is a reality check. It brings us back to earth and keeps our ego in check. The 11th lesson, rejection is a sign to move on. If something or someone isn't meant for you, rejection is the universe's way of telling you to move on. The 12th lesson, rejection encourages growth. It pushes us out of our comfort zone and forces us to evolve. And finally, the 13th lesson, rejection is a gift. It might not feel like it at the time, but rejection is a gift that keeps on giving. It provides us with invaluable lessons and experiences that shape who we are. Now let's dive deeper into each of these lessons. The first 4 lessons focus on perspective, control, acceptance, and transformation. The initial lesson guides us to alter our perspective, to view rejection not as a personal failure, but as an opportunity for growth, a stepping stone towards success. Control, the second lesson, emphasizes on our ability to control our reactions to rejection. As Stoics, we understand that we can't control external events, but we can control our reactions to them. Acceptance, the third lesson, encourages us to embrace rejection rather than fear it. By accepting rejection, we allow ourselves to learn and adapt from it. Finally, the fourth lesson, transformation, urges us to use the experience of rejection to transform ourselves to become better, stronger, and more resilient individuals. These lessons teach us to look at rejection differently, to accept it, and to use it to transform ourselves. In the following scenes, we'll delve deeper into the remaining lessons and learn how to further harness the power of rejection. The next set of lessons revolve around resilience, detachment, self-worth, and courage. Let's delve into them. Lesson 5 is all about resilience. Rejection, in essence, is a test of our resilience. The Stoics saw it as an opportunity to grow stronger, to build a tougher skin, and to learn how to handle adversity. Lesson 6 focuses on detachment. The Stoics believed in separating ourselves from the pain of rejection. By doing so, we can observe it objectively and not let it control us. Lesson 7 highlights self-worth. It's vital to remember that our value doesn't decrease based on someone's inability to see our worth. The Stoics emphasized that our worth comes from within, not from external validation. Finally, Lesson 8 is about courage. Facing rejection requires bravery, and the Stoics were big advocates of courage. They believed that we should not fear rejection, but rather embrace it as a part of life. These lessons show us how to bounce back from rejection, detach ourselves from its negative impact, realize our self-worth, and face rejection courageously. So, the final set of lessons deals with opportunity, growth, purpose, gratitude, and wisdom. Lesson 9 teaches us the art of spotting opportunities in the face of rejection. It's about transforming the no we hear into a stepping stone for a future yes. Next, Lesson 10 focuses on personal growth. It reminds us that every rejection is a chance to learn, to improve, and to become a better version of ourselves. Lesson 11 is all about finding our purpose. It asserts that rejection can help us hone in on what truly matters to us, guiding us towards our life's mission. In Lesson 12, we learn to be grateful for rejection. It may seem counterintuitive, but gratitude for the no's we encounter can lead to a more fulfilling life. Finally, Lesson 13 imparts the wisdom to learn from rejection. It invites us to see rejection not as a setback, but as a teacher. These lessons teach us to see the opportunity in rejection, to use it for personal growth, to find our purpose, to be grateful for it, and to gain wisdom from it. So, how can we apply these 13 lessons to our lives? Well, Stoicism teaches us to view rejection not as a setback, but as an opportunity. It's a chance to learn, to grow, and to become stronger. So, when we face rejection, we shouldn't retreat in defeat. Instead, we should stand tall, dust ourselves off, and use the experience as a stepping stone towards our next endeavor. First off, it's important to understand that rejection is a part of life. It's a universal experience that everyone goes through at some point. And that's okay. It's not a personal failure or reflection of your worth. It's simply a part of the journey. Next, we need to shift our perspective. Instead of seeing rejection as a negative, we should see it as a learning opportunity. What can we learn from this experience? What can we do better next time? By asking these questions, we can turn rejection into a powerful tool for self-improvement. Additionally, we must remember to stay grounded in the present. It's easy to get caught up in the what-ifs and the could-haves. But dwelling on the past won't change the outcome. What matters is what we do now, in this moment. And that's where Stoicism comes in. It encourages us to focus on the things we can control, like our actions and our responses, rather than the things we can't, like other people's opinions or decisions. Finally, we need to cultivate resilience. Rejection can be tough, but it doesn't have to break us. By adopting a Stoic mindset, we can learn to weather the storm and come out stronger on the other side. Remember, it's not about avoiding rejection, but about learning how to handle it with grace and dignity. In the end, it all comes down to perspective. By viewing rejection through the lens of Stoicism, we can transform it from a source of fear and disappointment into a catalyst for growth and self-improvement. Remember, rejection is not the end of the road, but the beginning of a journey to a stronger, wiser, and more resilient you. So, embrace it, learn from it, and let it guide you to greatness.